Now let's talk about the biorepository query generation and resolution workflow using query log. A generalized query log with all previous and outstanding biorepository queries will be maintained for each site throughout the study conduct. The logs are site specific, and each site can access their log through the shared with sites folder on the box.com. Here I'll open the biorepository query tracker for the CMC site in India. That's indicated on the top. This log has 3 sections. The first section is to be completed by the DOMC, that's highlighted in light blue. The second section here is the to be completed by site staff section, which is highlighted in light purple. The third section is DOMC review, which is also completed by DOMC, so it's highlighted in light blue. Workflow for this log is like when the DOMC once the DOMC staff identifies the discrepancies, they will open all the queries. They will open the queries in the to be completed by DOMC section. All the open queries are highlighted in red. The fields in this section include a query number, which is used to reference the query. The fields participant ID, sample type, visit type, name, aliquot ID, and barcode are the identifier fields for the sample. And the field type of query, which indicates two categories, either missing or incorrect type of query. Missing queries are when a sample or aliquot is not found in either sample report, repository report, or on the red cap. An incorrect type of query is when there are discrepant values found in a sample report, like incorrect PID format or incorrect volume for the sample type or other data discrepancies. For the incorrect type of query, an incorrect variable will be indicated in the incorrect variable column here. Detailed note on the discrepancy will be added in the discrepancy note column. And DOMC staff will also enter their initials and the date the query was opened here in the fields shown here. Once all the queries are open, DOMC staff will notify the site staff about the queries that are opened on queries that are opened on the log through emails or via routine site calls. The site staff will open the log and review all the open queries that are highlighted in red, and that are highlighted in red. Once the staff reviews and corrects the discrepancies, they must also respond to the queries in the section B, in the second section to be completed by the site staff. They must enter a corrected value for incorrect type of query and add notes in the notes column if there are any. For example, here there is one incorrect type of query where it says verify and correct the visit type. Suppose the EOT visit type is they've entered end of treatment visit type twice. And there's supposed to be only one plasma aliquot, and so this is entered twice, so we think the visit type would be incorrect. The sites will then go back to their sample repository reports or freezer or their freezers and correct the values accordingly on the freezer pro or on their sample repository reports and enter the corrected value. Suppose if they have corrected the end of treatment visit type from EOT to end of treatment to baseline, and they will enter that corrected value here. Add notes if there are any, like if you want to enter why it was entered end of treatment before, why they've changed it to baseline, you can add that here. Or if you could also leave it blank. Or you can also leave it blank if there are no comments. and add and respond to this query as yes, since you have corrected it, and add the site staff initials who have resolved the query, and add the date it was resolved. Suppose it was resolved on October on 25th October 2025. Oh no, let's say 30th October 2025. That will be added here. This for the missing type of query, sites also must indicate if they have entered the data, if they have corrected the data on REDCap, or if they have entered a new sample as suggested on FreeZero, or like where you have corrected the missing sample type. Suppose here this sample type is missing on REDCap but is present on FreeZero. They have not entered data for baseline visit for the plasma, so they must, if they have corrected it on REDCap, they must indicate like entered on REDCap. And say and respond yes here, and enter the initials and the date it was corrected. Once the site responds to the queries, the rows will turn green until to be completed by site staff section, as seen here. And then it will be a DOMC review. DOMC will review the site responses bi-weekly and update their review comments in the section DOMC review by adding their initials, the date of the review. Suppose if they have reviewed on 11th, on 25th November 25, they will add that here, and respond to this is it closed section, is it closed field as yes, if they consider the query is resolved. If not, they will re-query it and add a query reference number here in the notes section. So for example, if this query is reopened in query number 3, they'll add that new query number here. If they consider, suppose if this query is resolved, they've corrected the data after the review, if they think site staff have corrected data, and they can close the query here by responding yes, and they'll enter the initials and date the query was resolved. For a query that is reopened, all the identifier fields will remain same as the original query, except the discrepancy note, date of query and queried by. In the discrepancy note, in addition to the original discrepancy note, there will be an additional reference number for the previous query, saying that it's requeried. And they'll add the original query reference number as 1. As the query number 1 is requeried again in the query number 3, so that will be indicated in the discrepancy note along with the original query. and they will add the new date of the query. And their DMC staff initials who have opened the query. So this way, the site staff will always find the new queries at the bottom of the query log here, and they should always refer to the ones that are highlighted in red to respond to the queries. The DMC staff will open the query. The DMC staff will update the query logs and share it with the sites bi-weekly. The sites must respond to all the open queries within 1 week of the query date. Thank you.